You can learn how to make your own CBD salve in just a few easy steps. I want to show you, the end result. This is from my hockey bag. It's about empty. Is a nice salve that's easy to rub on anything that hurts. Knees, ankles, whatever. So what we have here is just a few ingredients. I have 100 grams. It's a little over 100 grams of CBD distillate, 120 grams of beeswax that I've already melted. I have 10 ounces of CBD oil, unrefined. Not coconut oil, unrefined coconut oil. Get it right. And then shea butter. Shea butter smooths it out some. Some shea butter. I have 4 ounces of shea butter. So 120 grams of beeswax, 100 grams of CBD distillate, 10 ounces coconut oil, 4 ounces shea butter, and then add essential oils to your preference. I use a few, and this batch is personal, so I'm going to be adding some RSO oil as well for that THC punch to take out the pain. So basically all you need to do, you have to be cautious not to overheat the CBD distillate. So I've already melted the beeswax, and then I just add in the other ingredients and blend it together. As it melts, it's going to blend in nicely, and you have a great finished product. Now on this batch, I have more beeswax than I normally do. My prior batches, and I keep track of it in a little book and write it down every time, and then get feedback from my, so I just share it with my hockey buddies at this point. But the more beeswax, the thicker it's going to be. It's more of a balm. And my goal is to put it into a roll-on. I've got one under my desk here somewhere. A roll-on container that'll be convenient to keep in the hockey bag, because it's all about hockey. So we've got a coconut oil, shea butter, now I prepared all this in advance. It takes a while. I have this big block. I'll show you this big block of beeswax. I bought it from a Michigan farmer, and I had to clean it up. It was, he just stored it in the barn or whatever, I guess, but had to shave off the outside. Once I cleaned up, now sometimes I have to take a hammer and chisel to break off a chunk, but I was just carving it with a knife today and taking off wedges. And then I've got a little scale here to weigh everything as I go, scale and measuring cups. And then I just take notes, so I remember what I've done. And every couple batches, I'll send it into a testing lab to test, for the potency. So with 100 grams of CBD distillate, my distillate from my 2019 grow is just over 70%. It wasn't a real high percentage. CBD was decent. So I worked the numbers at 100 grams. I'm going to get around 8 or 10 tins out of it. It works out. I didn't prepare the math here. I'll leave it in the comments, but what it worked out was I'm shooting for 5,000 milligrams of CBD per tin. So it's pretty strong. And then if you add the a couple milliliters, which is easier said than done to squeeze this out, of the distillate, In fact, I'm going to sit this down in here and let it heat up. Let that warm up a little bit. But that is it. We just mix all this together. We're going to let that melt. That CBD oil is going to melt really fast. The issue with the tins, the reason you need the beeswax is if you just have, and I said CBD oil, I'm at coconut oil again. So that coconut oil melts really fast. It's like about 74 degrees, it turns to a liquid nearly. So, you could spill your tins or make a mess. It gets kind of greasy. So I'm reducing the amount of coconut oil. This batch, I normally do 12 ounces of coconut oil and did just 10, but instead of 77 grams of beeswax, I went up to 120 grams of beeswax. So it's going to be much more of a balm. So I'm going to finish this up. I hope to hear from anybody in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. But this is great. A great resource that's available to us. The distillate is readily available to buy. The coconut oil is at Walmart. The Shea Butter, yet to order it online, I've found. And, essential oils, there's not a lot to it. You can do this yourself. It's, and it's fun. It's great to see how it helps people. Okay, here's the finish on the CBD balm. Took me about 5 minutes to give it a good stir and warm it up carefully. Try not to get it up over 160, but with all that beeswax, it takes a little while to melt. I'd initially melted the beeswax and it got too hot, just melting the beeswax. So I had to cool it down, and then the beeswax solidified some. So when I threw everything in, so I've got some ideas on how to improve the process. So let me know if you have any questions about that. But then I did all my drops. I do nutmeg, clove, and myrrh, mostly nutmeg. A lot of nutmeg, just love the odor, the smell. And, clove is naturally antibacterial, and myrrh is one of those super oils. So not a lot of that, but that's it. So I hope you can go forth and make your own CBD salve. All right. Peace and love.